because it's quite interesting just seeing how both Hamilton and Smith play this game. I also think that there's a different air about Hamilton now compared to what there was before. I think that three...
Sorry, I picked you up wrong there, John. I thought you said hair rather than air. Carry on.
John's looking confused.
Right, anyway, I'll move on. And
I just wondered if he bought a wig while he was at the half-time break. Carry on, John, I'm listening this time.
all I'm saying is that I just got the impression that three has really bolstered Hamilton up, and there's a different just air about them, the way that they're moving about the rink and that. So power to them for getting that.
Yeah, it's amazing how a good turn in fortune can really bring your team confidence up and just get your game rolling a wee bit more. I'm just looking out the window there and I thought we had an Eskimo on the ice, but it's actually Graham Shedden. He's got a hat right down to about his chin and his zip of his coat right up to his chin. I think he must be cold out there.
Well, I think, Graham, I think it's fairly big news, to be fair. Just on Graham Shedden, I think he's about the most furthest on game there is on the ice just now.
We could be making history here, or record breaking.
Well, I think there's certainly some kind of record to be broken there.
We'll maybe need to get a word with him after and just see if he had a change of thought in his tactics or something.
5 blank ends in a row or something, yeah. Takes a bit of thinking about this game. No time clocks this weekend.
I will point out to him that you brought that topic of conversation up, though.
Feel free.
He's actually sporting a very bright pair of red gloves as well, so he must really be feeling the cold down there.
It's either that
he's maybe got sponsorship,
or his team are struggling with the handles to play one of the 3 above options.
These gloves are both red, so how does that help?
You hold up one hand at a time, Graham.
I'm with you.
Anyway,
Graham Sloan, the coach at Dumfries.
To the game in hand.
We're always learning.
To the game in hand.
It's looking like a blank end at the moment, John.
Have we got the right player playing the right shots?
We're now on to the skip stones, so we're a couple on. There you go. One more and we're all up and running.
And another one yet.
So Kyle Smith throwing his first stone of the end, and he is trying to force the issue here by trying to come round this corner guard to get his 2. Sometimes at this stage of the end you just find them thrown into the open to make sure they don't get forced to take the 1. That's a lovely shot. Is it in?
I'm going to say no.
It's definitely splittable though. I think if it's close enough they're going to hit it. Halfway indicated, try and roll in behind the furthest away corner, rolling to the right.
You say you'd normally see it thrown into the open, but do you quite like that as a shot, Graham? Or
it just shows how confident these guys are. They're very, very accurate, consistent with their weight. They're obviously happy with the ice conditions, that they know they can pick the ice and throw it and it'll land where they want it to. Possibly just needed a wee bit more with the sweep in there. But again, these guys, when you've got last stone, they want to score 2. Did that stone stay in?
I think that's in now.
Surely not.
No, was that hit? Must have hit a foot, did it?
I'm sure it was caught by somebody's foot. We'll maybe work on it. Here it comes. Let's see what happens.
Stopped by a foot.
Maybe just trying to do it. I'm not sure what they're talking about down there. Definitely went out. A little bit of joking going on. It's good to see. So, blanking the end. 7 ends completed. And the score is still 7-4. Kyle Smith adopting the same strategy as the previous end, asking his lead to play the tick shot. I think they were very successful the previous end, looked like a very good shot. He's close again.
It was a cracking tick shot the last
He's
end.
close again. Maybe just a little bit light of weight that time. He's moved to yellow just about perfect though.
Back it goes.
Is it out? Yep, replacing it. A very technically difficult shot that.
How do you coach your juniors for the tick shot, Graham?
Don't tell them about it.
Not a fan.
Yeah, I mean it has its place.
It's surely got to be better than a throw through the house. At least you're trying to do something with it.
Well, it depends how it ends up. If you play it badly, you're as well throwing it through. If you make a good attempt at it and get a good result, then it was worth playing it. Again, the Smith team far enough up on the scoreboard that they can attempt those shots. They've certainly looked like they're making it very clear that they're going to be hitting a lot of stones out of play, keeping it clear, trying not to give any scoring opportunities away. You can see this time with the second guard being put up, they're now ignoring the tick shot, making sure they get the control of the 4 foot first. So we'll be looking to see this one land in around the 4 foot. So just a little higher line, perfect weight though. In fact, he's just a fraction heavy, that's why it's held out there.
Wee bit of reversal of fortunes in sheet D with Josh taking a 2 to give him a 1 shot advantage over Mowat.
Yeah, there's some really good games going on. This shot here just looks like it's a little bit firm. Got a foot extra running on it. Just didn't quite get right back to the target, and straight away you can see Kyle Smith wandering out to the 2 guards. He'll be looking to get both these off in one go. Indicating in-turn throw for Kyle Waddle. Sweepers are on it, called off. Are we going to see it? Oh, very good attempt. Just overswept.
A wee chance here for John Hamilton though to start getting them into the house a wee bit. opposed to just peeling the guards off, or do you think they'll just keep peeling that guard off?
Yeah, John's making the play into the 4-foot with the knowledge that he's got one guard up there. So if he can play this one, position this one well, we might see the Smith team having to come into the house, give us a few more stones in play, but again that guard's far enough up and it's not right down the centre. Smith's still got all the 4-foot to aim for. This one looks like it's just swinging a wee bit too much.
Not a disaster if this ends up short though.
Needs to stop. I'm quite sure the Iceman will be happy to still see them running through to the back of the house. There's been a lot of heavy sweeping going on out there, so it's really testing the pebble.
Have you had a word with the Iceman at all? Is he any I see his reflection in the window up here actually.
He's prowling, he's keeping an eye on things, he's just monitoring the situation, trying to learn from this first game, I suppose, just to see the real effect of the sweepers. So I'm sure he's got his eyes on every game as well. So you can see the Smith team went to take the guard off and jammed it. It's now Hamilton's chance to put some pressure on here. He's got a free shot at throwing a guard. I don't think Kyle Smith will be too worried just yet. Those stones are well spread and the 4-foot is still fully open.
You can see tapping the brush down for a guard.
Oh yeah, if Smith even takes a 1 this end, he's still 4 up.
That's right, yeah, and he's run down another end, so I'm quite sure he's sitting happy out there. But what they'll be trying to do is just really get their game up to a high level and consistent and not making mistakes so that they can carry that into the next game. You really want to try and keep your consistency levels high so that you know when you go out there you're going to be confident.
What's the format for the scoring here in terms of who they play the next time?
It's round robin, John. You play everybody in your section, and I believe in this section it is the top three that go through. Could be top 3, maybe
yep.
Top 4. I'm thinking it was top 3 for this section.
It is top 3. It's top 3 of this and section C, and the top 4 of section A, I believe.
Anyway, going back to the last shot, was that a wee bit lucky shot for Smith that they took out both of those?
I think that's what they would be hoping for. You can see there, lovely executed shot, taking the stone out in the house as well at the same time. So very well played stone there. And Graham Prentice throwing third shot. He's looking to just position this one again. Sweepers are just guiding it down there. Landed into position. Skip says thank you very much. And Kyle just asking for it to be removed. So a little bit of cat and mouse again.
It kind of gave the impression of what else was there.
So just having a wee discussion now about what to do, because they've now run a few of the Smith team stones down. There's now just the skip stones to play. Do they put another one in? Do they put another one short? What's going to make it hardest for Kyle Smith to score here?
It's trying to stop him getting a double.
Yeah, positioning it potentially to take away the double as well. I think his best option here is just to make sure he's lying 2 or guarded and force the 1. There's not an awful lot of cover there. You can see just the 1 guard in the top of the screen. It's out on the 4-foot lines, so it's not really protecting the button, which makes it harder for the team that's trying to steal. So I think the tactics now would be to force the 1 and then try and score his 3 again in the next end.
And when we look along the rinks, if you look at sheet A, which is Shedden's game, it just looks like a big girdle.
There's certainly a lot of stones in play over there, John, and
They've
only been scoring singles though.
There's 3 yellows there for what's her
So
name?
Hamilton's
Loman Smith or something.
come up short with his stone, so he's throwing the guard, which you can see now is protecting a bit more of the button, but the Smith team have said, well, thanks for the guard, we're going to come round it, we're going to try and get our 2 here again.
Yeah, there's no second thoughts about going attacking, is there?
As soon as they get a sniff for a 2, they're after it.
Confidence in the last stone as well as a bailout option, so
It's very aggressive play, and these boys have got an awful lot of experience behind them. Current world junior champions, 2 times Scottish junior champion. I think they're on for the triple this year, are they?
I think so, yep. That's not a bad CV, is it?
Or hat trick, not the triple, hat trick. And they're obviously going to be in with a shout for the men's championship as well, the way they're playing.
Yeah, you haven't narrowed down your 4 yet.
Well, there's one.
I'll throw Dave Edwards in on that.
Sweepers are having to work on this. I think this could be on the guard.
No, it's
Just nudge the guard, but are they going to manage to pull it into play? Look, just a fraction short of pace. Sweepers were really working that from at least halfway down.
Hamilton's really got to block that way into there, isn't he?
Well, he's got the chance now, John, where he could actually come right down between the blue and yellow and land top of the button. He really needs for me to force the issue here. He needs to come right in, get in the 4-foot and make it hard for the Smith team to score.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, he's 3 shots down without, so he really needs to start forcing the issue, as you say. Put a wee bit of pressure on.
They have the option, if it does hang a little wide, to get a wee guide in off the blue stone, which would nudge it across in behind the yellow centre guard. So just needs to throw a nice top 8 weight here and let the sweepers guide it in to the button, or top 4 would be ideal.
Sweepers are on it quickly.
So they want to try and hold the line. Good chatting going on down there. Weight looks good.
It's a fraction high, but they will finish.
They're going to be round the guard anyway. Here it comes.
Have to get it hidden, dig it in.
It's a pretty good attempt.
Yeah, I think with that line they would have liked it to stop 2 feet shorter, perhaps.
Yeah.
Kyle Smith can follow that down, land on the nose, and take the 1.
Be interesting just to see if the top blue is in or not. Whether if that stone was, the yellow stone was out a little bit, whether the double was there for 2. We'll just get a good look. You can clearly see the blue stone is just short of the house, so no options for a 2 here. This is just a straightforward through the port, tap back for 1.
It's funny about angles, isn't it? From that camera, looks dead straightforward. All of a sudden you switch to that one and it looks a little bit more hairy.
This is where it's nice to be sitting up here watching, eh?
Sweepers into it quickly.
Sweepers are on it. They don't want to make a mistake here.
Oh, they're really digging this one.
Skip Skip shouting for them as well.
Is it on the guard?
It is.
He may... No, he's going to lose 2 here. Big mistake there. Has a wee glance back to the scoreboard. He's got his tongue sticking out. Just a little mistake there, just taking his eye off the ball slightly. So we've now played 8 ends and there's 1 in it. There we can see a rundown. Sheet A, Hamish Lauren Smith 2, Shedden 3. Sheet B, Taylor 8, Hamilton 8. That's a cracking game.
There'll be an update on the
blank and a
sheet A.
Jocelyn Mowat 4-3, Sean Gray 5-1, Lee McCleary and Fraser Hare 5-2. So some cracking games going on out there. So this could just get a little bit interesting now.
Yeah, I have to say, I've said several times that this game was not done, but heading that way, it arguably should have been.
Well, the Smith team have given up 5 shots in 3 ends, so
I think this is where John Hamilton probably comes into his own as well. He's going to just keep chucking name guards up, keep putting the pressure on. He'll just want to make this as messy as he possibly can.
yeah, they're definitely back in it now. This is going to the wire.
It just shows you just how the wee mistakes, the wee, just a wee nick or that's probably been where most of the shots have been lost. It's not as if they missed any. It's just that the draw's just catching them out, or the weight's catching them out, and the result is they're not getting what they want.
Yeah, I think it's been quite interesting to watch. I don't necessarily think it's an ice change, because the shots that they've missed, the sweepers have been on them straight away.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think that they're just misreading the ice, or they're just not getting their weight consistent.
Yeah, or just maybe a little dip in concentration, and it's come back to bite them there. But again, a fantastic shot from Kyle Smith's lead. He's been asked to play the tick shot again, and pushed it into the house. And Hamilton Rink have put the centre guard back on, so will we see them now hit the stone out of the house that they just pushed in there, or will they make another attempt? Nope, they're going for the one in the house.
I think they certainly seem to have been forced into slightly more defensive play now. Just looking to consolidate a little bit.
Again, they score a 1 here, they're 2 up down the last. They get a blank, they're 1 up with. They'll just be trying to manipulate the situation here.
Play the scoreboard.
Playing the scoreboard. Again, they've been in this situation a lot of times, and it's a lot of it's mind now, isn't it? They have to put the last 3 ends out their mind, focus on the next 2, finish the game off.
I like to say concentration. I think that's probably the key word there.
Hamilton obviously wondering whether to go for the 4 foot or whether to get rid of this one, and elected for to hit and stick on this one.
In his thought process, John will have had to completely change now. The last 3 ends he's down and out, doesn't think that he's got a chance. All of a sudden he finds himself 1 down with 2 to go. He's going to have to start thinking about how he's playing the game differently now. It's not all out now. They're not putting all their eggs in the one basket every end. They're now playing that little bit cagier, and they'll be hoping to try and get a wee glimpse of victory down the last end.
So the tactics will change.
Yeah, they have to now. He's dragged himself back into the game, or been allowed back into the game, and and if he was to continue along the same fashion.
And I see that Shedden lost 3 shots in that the 7th end there.
So yep, we're now getting to the sharp end of the game. Ends 7, 8 and 9. The teams will be starting to maybe feeling the fatigue. They've been out on the ice there for a long time already, and the concentration levels maybe just starting to drop. That's now 2 hours that they've been, 2 hours and 15 minutes they've now been playing. They've been on the ice for nearly 2.5 hours. So, fitness is a key influencing factor now. And you can just start to see some of these games that were very close. There's the odd game now that's just starting to stretch away.
Don't think we're going to make the 4:30 start for the next sessions anyway.
Is that when it's scheduled for? I thought it was 5:30.
I think it's 5:30, John.
Is that
it is
a typo up there?
I'm hoping it's 5:30.
I think what you're looking at is the previous weekend, John. I think what you're looking at is the Braehead weekend last weekend.
No, I'm looking at tomorrow.
Looking at tomorrow. That's not so bad.
You're wishing. You're wishing we're there.
No, I missed out Saturday.
Yeah, definitely 5:30 tonight. I've got Ross
Is there a bar
McLeod.
tonight, is there?
There is a bar tonight, I believe.
Are you thirsty, John?
No, I'm thinking about all the people that's probably watching this and saying, well, I could maybe fly over from Canada or something like that and have a drink here tonight.
They'd be very welcome.
Graham will send you away with an entry form for the Junior International, I'm sure.
I'm not quite sure that we're... I'm not sure they've got these intergalactic flights up and running yet, have they? Where you can zoom across galaxy and land where you want to be within the hour. You're on track, John, don't worry. We're on track. We're on track now. Graham Prentice throwing his second stone of the end. And again, throwing the centre guard here. So it looks like Hamilton are trying to force the one. Throwing the centre guard up, looking to force the one and give them the last shot down the last end. He's happy with that. Thomas Muirhead being asked to take it straight back off.
Super straight on this again.
Big weight and accurate. No messing about. A lot of shouting going on down there. And there's a couple of big ends coming up. Apologies, we're not going to show this, but the Shaw Rink are line 3 and they are 4 down at the moment. So that could swing that game right back to the jaws of victory.
When you see that the way the games are swinging, and that although it appears that maybe at the beginning somebody had an advantage, and then you see that advantage has disappeared, it just shows you the strength of the curling that's down there, you know.
It's high calibre teams, a lot of experienced players out there. It'd be interesting to just go across each sheet and see how many titles were under each team's belts, individual players, what they've actually won in their curling careers. So John Hamilton throwing his first stone of this end. Sweepers are guiding it down there. They're cleaning, I would say, at the moment, rather than sweeping. They're quite happy with the speed. So a nicely positioned guard by John Hamilton, and Kyle Smith looking just to remove this, keep it open if he's forced to take his one. And again, just a slack one.
Maybe both teams will be quite happy to have a black end here.
I certainly think now that John Hamilton's got a chance of forcing the one here, that guard allow him to grab the edge of the 4 foot and force Smith into drawing for a one. You can see there in the corner, if you look closely, Kyle Smith's team coach, David Ramsey. He's been following this game from the start, recording a little bit, and he'll have, I'm quite sure, a few words to say to the team at the end of the game, and he'll be here to keep them right for the rest of the weekend.
So Hamilton's first shot. Or is it?
This will be his last shot of the end, yep. So this, again, they're on it straight away. The sweepers are on this straight away. I think he's going to be crashing the guard. Nope, they think they're okay now. They really were on that quick. You can see now it's finishing hard. This is looking good. Can they bite the 4 foot? Just
That's
came
a
up
good
little
shot,
short.
isn't it?
Just a little short, John. He's perfectly in behind the guards, but you really need to be biting 4 foot to put a real bit of pressure on Kyle Smith's last draw here. He now just has to hit the 8 foot, and this is the last stone of the end. So he'll be hoping just to make sure that he scores here. Graham Prentice standing at the other end, vice skip for John Hamilton. He's got the score disc in his hand already. He's just not decided which side of the scoreboard he's going to put it on yet, but he's got it in hand, and I'm quite sure he'll mark this up quite quickly. So it's on its way.
Sweepers jumped this again, but I think it's under control. They're on off it.
Needs to be 8 foot. Yeah, I think they're happy with it.
A long shot them going up there.
You sure it's not too
You can see him
heavy?
there. Graham Prentice dropped his score ticket on the ice. Is he going to sweep it out through? He
has,
He's managed to sweep it through. He'll be picking that disc back up. There you are. You can see end 9. He's going to give it to himself now. 1 point. Sweepers overdid that a little bit.
Well, they certainly jumped on it out to Kyle's hand there. So I think we'd put that down to a wee bit of a sweeping error, because most of the work was done early doors. So it was probably a bit of foot overswept there. So
These boys are now under the cosh. The pressure is mounting.
And there we have it. We certainly would not have predicted that. Going into the 10th end, I had this game over and done.
7-7 after 9. And to be honest, David, there's a lot of the other games that are still nip or tuck. Graham Shaw did score his 3, so he's now 1 down in the 9th end.
Now I'll just wait and see where this guard lies, and we'll put them scores up. Obviously quite a crucial shot this end.
Great first stone by Ian Stobo. He has landed his guard up there, and you can see there's the standings. There's only one game to update on there. That's sheet F. Shaw versus Gray is now 5-4.
Yeah, see Scott Hamilton also took a 1 in the 8th as well, so they're now 9-8 up. There's your tick shot again, Graham.
He's played it very well today, hasn't he? That's 4 ends in a row. I don't think he's missed one yet. I think he's hit every single one of them. I think there was one
he
put
had
back,
one replaced. Yeah,
one replaced.
Yeah, you'd be happy with that as a lead.
Certainly would.
So replace that centre guard. That'll be the call here. John Hamilton certainly made a good fist of this second half of the game. It would been very easy to down tools, call it quits, get off the ice, go and get something to eat and come back tomorrow, but he's stuck in there really well.
I totally agree with you, David. I mean, I think that getting that 3 just seemed to just turn everything round about, and in a major way, and I mean he's never really looked back since then, and I mean even if it goes against him now, I mean guy has to be really fair chuffed with what he's done this game.
Yeah, that tick shot not quite working. It has got it off the
it did
the
move
forfeit.
it did move it a little bit, just about.
But what it has done is left 2 stones in play, and indeed 4 stones in play. So although they're not down the centre line, John Hamilton calling for another guard here.
Yeah. And
now I think you're right, John. I think that 3's just changed the momentum of the game. An unnecessary 3, I would say, as well.
Yeah, but the steal of the 2 for me was more crucial. The 7th end was blanked, but the 8th end was a steal of 2, and that was a key shot. They score a 1 there. They're actually 4 up again, as opposed to 1 up. So it was a big shift in momentum there as well. But Hamilton Rink have definitely got their tails up now. Confidence is really high.
Plus, you made a comment earlier, Graham, about the state of the ice and that, and I think that it's testament to the state of the ice that after all this playing that it's still that keen, that a stone will run through when what's a very experienced team probably didn't anticipate it to, you know.
Yeah, it still seems to be running on anyway.
And it has taken a battering with the sweeping as well. It's not been light sweeping on it at all. It's the sweeping's been pretty brutal on it.
So in this Hamilton versus Smith game, as we play the 10th end, everything resting on this end. Hamilton playing the blue shots, the yellow shots.
Again, asking for this centre guard to be removed from play.
You have to say that really everything's going Smith's way, mind. At the moment he's got the shot at the back there, and he's got last shot at. Very difficult to envisage that he wouldn't get to win the game.
It just shows how big a shot that tick shot is if you make it.
Yeah, when it works well.
Especially when the game's tight and you've got the last stone, you want the middle open. It's really, Cammy Smith has really thrown that shot well for his team today and given them every opportunity of winning this end.
quite a large number of people in the lounge now.
Good shot by Thomas Muirhead, keeping it simple. And you know, this blue stone at the back of the house could really come into play if there's only, you know, if the Hamilton rink only managed to get one stone in and it leaves Smith with a hit and roll. He doesn't need to stick around to win the game if that blue stone at the back could come into play and count for one.
Draw into it, Graham?
They've got to keep throwing the centre guard, John, and hope that the Smith rink knows hit so that they can come round to the button.
Yeah, keep throwing it until John's last stone would be my guess here. May as well. I just have to keep playing about with the angles, see if they can get a bounce back off one of the side guards.
This one's cut across too much, but it may actually be okay there. Looks like a good shot. So it's now the battle of the skips. The last 4 ends, Hamilton's been winning this battle. Is he going to manage to get the 10th end as well?
If there's no games after this, it's because David Owen has abandoned us and left me to work this equipment.
I've got my own game in the much more important competition at Bride of Hill at Lockerbie this evening, John. The Bride of Hill at Lockerbie, so
right,
huge competition.
That's a big competition.
Oh, it's much bigger than the Scottish, obviously. So I did try and get out of it, but my brother wouldn't let me, so I'm afraid I'll scoot off. So what we'll probably do at the end of this game is we'll have a very brief interruption, so the channel will go offline and then I'll put it back online, just with a still picture. So it's exactly the same place for the next game. The next game is at 5:30. We've got Ross McCleary against Duncan Gracie. As long as the sheets work as it's printed, that's the plan anyway. Which I have to say, I'm a bit gutted to be missing that game, John. There'll be good banter in that game.
I'll be quite honest here. If this is going to be the state of the competition all weekend, it's going to be good curling.
Again, just removing the guard. With the knowledge just that they've got this blue in the back corner.
So this is Hamilton's last shot.
Discussing just exactly where to put this.
Just got to draw it to the blue at the back there.
Yeah, problem if it comes right back to the blue, it's a dead easy follow, so I'd imagine in line with the blue, biting the forefoot somewhere about there.
He's maybe going to hope that they'll oversweep it or undersweep it after what happened the last time.
Yeah, he's just got to make his shot, and then he's really hoping for a miss after that. With that blue at the back, a blank's probably out of the equation.
Even if it's towards the back of the 8 foot and on the same kind of plane as that other one, so that if they try to hit it, maybe jam.
you just want to make sure you're line shot after this one. You don't want to win the game for the opposition, really. So.
Super's just keeping it. They're on it now, as you can
I
see.
want to keep it moving a wee bit. Yeah, it's not a bad effort. I think he'll just go for the hit though.
Not really much more they could have done than that.
No, anywhere high side wins the game for them now. I don't suspect we'll see this one coming down quietly.
Well, when you think about it, Hamilton's done well. He's got 4 ends and he's got 7 shots. He'll, if he loses this, it might just be -1 or -2. So
I think he'll just be really happy with the way that he's kept in this game.
Oh, I think it's
more than anything.
fantastic,
You know, really challenging set of circumstances for him to stay in it. And they are on this.
Oh, he's not got to jam it in the back, is
If it overswings, it's on the nose. On the nose it is. We see a hack dislodged, I think. But anyway, there's the handshakes. That's that game done and dusted. So Kyle Smith's rink win that one. So as I say, next up, 5 o'clock, we have Ross McCleary against Duncan Gracie. John, thank you very much for commentating on that game. I think you're back for the next one. Again?
Yes, that's right, aye.
Yep, excellent. So it'll be John, Graham, Sloan back again, and somebody else because I'm not here. So join us at 5:30 and we'll see what happens in that game.